Showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor. Y'all check it out, y'all.
Here's a bonus. You heard it before.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Serving that heat. That tornado. GCOM Radio.
Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. Doing about 100 on the highway. About 100 on the highway. You sending pictures before I pull up in the driveway. Now I'm flowing deep up in your ocean. The way you want it got a brother losing focus. And I'm digging your motion. Cloud 9, how a nigga got you floating. Now we going off the ganja, you know that I got you. Doing you proper, you're calling me papa. You know I love it when you're calling me papa. Touchdown, I'm in your zone. Now just work your body, move your body. Whatever you do, just don't hurt nobody, body. Work your body, move your body. You got a nigga in the zone. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it.
You heard it here first, folks. Where else can you hear the latest? You know the show. Say it.
You like it.
She got a little attitude, but fuck it, I like that. If I ever lose, I get up and fight back. You mind, don't fight that. If I text, type back. Shine on wine, pass me the weed and like that. Yeah, I shine like the middle of the city. Might go blind in a minute if you with me. If she in my line and say, Tony, come and get me. I'll be on a flight in a minute for the quickie. Don't you move me out the way, my darling. I pray that you don't move me out the way. You say I got better bitches in my face, my darling. But me and you know that is not the case. Fuck it anyway. We should take a trip and get away. You know I can make a flip and we can spend it in a day. You and them a major difference, so them bitches gonna hate. Don't you listen, never trip. We bout the business, bout the cake, yeah.
Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. You got the sauce, baby, I got the juice. Spit true for my rhymes, baby, this is the bro. We can go anywhere, Hawaii and Cancun. Just say the word and shorty, it's on you. And we ain't tripping unless we talking traps. Topic of discussion, there's really no other option. 5-star place, told the butterfly she loving. I'm ballin' with no budget, take trips, I got the luggage. Shooting my shot, spraying, I don't miss. Time of your life don't get better than this. IV in my veins, you know I need my fix. The lip, the sweetest taste, the scent. You my medicine, word. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it.
What up, y'all? This is Nova Phoenix. I'm your host on GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio. And we are back again for another episode. Yeah, I missed last week. Sorry, y'all, I missed last week. There was a lot of things going on for Thanksgiving that I had to prep for. I didn't get a chance to do. But I am coming to you guys this week with a fresh show. It's going to be a little short this week because it's like the holidays, man, and there's so much going on. But before I continue, I'd like to give a shout out to my other half. It was her birthday last week. It was supposed to be on last week's show, but I'm saying it now. So happy birthday to my wife. She is 11 years old and getting younger every year, of course, because you know what they say, life won't back. So, yo, I got to give it up to her, man. Happy birthday, and you know you're gonna have the blessings of 40 more. And I hate, you know, I'm not like a PDA person. I'm really not. I'm not a PDA person, but so I do love my wife, and much happy birthday to her, much love to her, and yeah. So we're moving on. Woo! Okay, we can get past that. Yeah. So let's get the show started. So what's the first thing I saw? I was looking through a magazine, I think online actually, while my wife was doing a thing on her computer, and I'm looking through my phone, and I saw Chanel perfume, something. I guess it was an ad promotion or something like that. And Chanel perfume, you know, of course, Chanel perfume got a whole bunch of different things going on. There's Chanel No. 5, Gabrielle Chanel, Coco Noir, Allure, all that. But the funny thing is, they had the little thing underneath. It says parfum, whatever like case may be. But under it is eau de toilette. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? Because my wife is French. And she's like, oh, that's like toilet water. It was a longer conversation. I was like, wait a second. Toilet water? That's the description of the perfume? Toilet water? She's like, well, this is what it is. So I had to sleuth it, and yeah, the little translation, I was online figuring it out. Online it's toilet water, but it's a more appropriately described, as they say, as grooming water. And the difference between that and the main perfume is that it has less of the perfume content in it, so it's lighter, and it's only used as a skin freshener, I guess, to spritz and not make it be so strong. So they call it eau de toilette. And when you go to the bathroom, I'm like, I want to meet the people who came up with this name over at Chanel, because you know they feeling themselves, because they feel that French translate. If you can speak French in any way that you can say shit, fuck, whatever, it rolls off the tongue like satin if you say it in French. And I'm like, yes, we shall call it eau de toilette, and they will love it and love it good. And la douche, entonces, j'aime fou chat. Yeah, every time I speak French, I come out with that. Je t'en chanter. Yeah, I'm not real. I'm butchering the language, but that's how I was. And I always think of Pepe Le Pew when I'm thinking of French. Oh, mademoiselle, j'entends ça, I love you. But yeah, that's crazy. So all right, moving on. Queen of Slim. Hey, everybody got to go see Queen of Slim. I heard that's. I'm looking down on my FB line of all the people I'm connected to, and they're giving nothing but rave reviews. So I got to go see Queen of Slim. That's written by Lena Waithe. And I heard it was kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde setup. So I got to go see that movie. I got to go see that. You know how I am about movies. If it ain't good, or if a movie comes out, I got to make sure that it's good if I'm going to go to the theaters. Because people know me already, I stay at home and watch my movies. So along with that Queen of Slim, here's my own personal movies that you guys should check out. American Son, I can't remember that woman's name. Go on Netflix. It's American Son. It's kind of like a playish because it's like a single setting in a police department. Go see that. Great movie. I can't remember her name. Oh my God. Go see Dolomite Is My Name with Eddie Murphy. My man's coming back, and he's already putting things on Smash with Dolomite Is My Name. That's on Netflix as well. Go see The Black Godfather. That is a movie by Clarence Avant, coming up in the music business for the last 50 years. Great movie. And Godfather of Harlem. Godfather of Harlem. That's Forrest Whitaker being Bumpy Johnson. And this other Nolo movie, if I think right, Basic Nolo is like Nigerian movies. This is a great flick. Check out. Matter of fact, it looks great. I only saw the trailer. It's called Lionheart. And this is a woman that takes over her father's business after he suffers from some sort of a heart attack. So I definitely want to see that. The next thing is Drake, man. Drake, what's really good? They're getting at Drake for getting at Billie Eilish on her phone. I don't understand why people are sweating freaking Drake. Why are they sweating Drake? Because he has, look, you think Billie Eilish, the only adult that she knows is Drake? Everyone around her, most of the people around her in the music business are adults. So what are you saying? Everybody's trying to get in her pants? Come on. She's got directors, producers, what do you call it? Engineers, all her handlers, they're adults. Give me a break. Everybody's trying to, get them. They're trying to just insinuate that Drake is trying to get in on. He's like being on some devious, sinister thing like R. Kelly. Come on, stop it. Stop it. And the same thing with Millie Bobby Brown. I guess he hollered at her trying to give her some tips on boyfriends or whatever like that. Millie Bobby Brown is the actress from Stranger Things, the young girl. Come on, man. Now, if Drake is hitting her every morning, noon, and night, morning, noon, and night, morning, noon, and night, and just getting at her, then maybe so. But if he's shouting her out like, hey, check this out, blah, 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 there's nothing there. What are you guys looking for, man? Leave Drake alone, all right? The other thing, lastly, Nonami. Nonami, I was looking on uprocks.com, and Nonami I heard of her name before, but Nonami was on Uprocks because she says she's done with touring because she's tired of performing for predominantly white crowds. Now, let me just say this. When you are in America and you're going triple platinum and your record is seriously famous and it's 5, 8 times, 9 times platinum, you think Black and Latino or any other person of color in this country are listening to your record that's making you go platinum? No, it's white folks. White folks are listening to hip hop, man. Stop it. Nonami, stop it. When you tour and doing a 10, 20 city tour over and over again, who do you think you're seeing? Who do you think you're seeing? White folks. Stop it. Especially if you're going to Utah, you're going to Denver, you're going to Washington State, Seattle, any of those Midwestern places. Come on, man. You are seeing white folk. And the thing that got me was she says on Twitter, me consistently creating content that is primarily consumed by a white audience who would rather shit on me than challenge their liberalism because somehow liking Lizzo's music absolves them of racist tendencies. All right, she may have a point there, but at the same time, I don't know what her experiences are on tour, but I'm like, this is what you're dealing with. You are going to perform for white crowds. Now, she goes on to say that there are people mixed into the Baby and Megan Thee Stallion, Sminos. Their shows got black people coming to the show. Wait, well, she says, Nonami then explained her stance in more detail. I'm on the uprocks.com website, writing that other rappers such as the Baby, Megan Thee Stallion, and Smino have more diverse crowds at their shows. Well, who knows? I don't know. Maybe you make music for white people. Maybe so. And black people and all the other folks, people of color, don't like coming to your shows. Who knows? But why are you tripping? She continues to say on Twitter, this is what really got me. And I've said this on my show before when I spoke about the nigger word. She says, she's tweeting right after her other tweet. She says, when I go to work, thousands of white people scream the word nigga at me. And no, I'm not changing my art. So it is what it is. Catch me. Now, that does not make sense. I do not get that. I say, if you do not, as a black rapper, a black hip hop artist, if you do not like 5,000 white people screaming the word nigga back at you, what do? Stop saying the word. Stop saying the goddamn word. Come on now. For real, I'm serious. For her to say that, it's asinine. It's stupid. It's illogical. That's like saying, you know what, I want to lose weight, but I'm not going to stop eating donuts and sitting my fat ass on a couch. But I'm going to be looking pretty and looking good, ready for the beach come this summer. What? Come on. Listen, I have my personal feelings about it. My thing is, say it amongst your folk. Say it when you need to say it, or if it serves a purpose in a particular song. But if you don't want 5,000 white people screaming the word back at you, stop saying the fucking word. Stop saying it, man. Put that shit away. Okay? Come on, man. I don't know. I got to look up more who Nanami is. So, what do I got to say this show for this first segment? All right, so Thanksgiving. I had a great Thanksgiving. It was lovely. It was beautiful. I was shouting out people, Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, happy this, happy Thanksgiving, happy Turkey Day, having fun, all that. But I don't want people to get the wrong idea what I feel about Thanksgiving. I take Thanksgiving because I want to give thanks to my family, to my friends for the food and the feast that we were going to eat for that, on the spread that was in front of us. A lot of people don't have a meal to eat. A lot of people don't have family. A lot of people don't have friends. A lot of people are less fortunate than I am. And I would like to thank the higher power that I do have all those things in front of me, and that I do have my loved ones and my friends and family all around me having this feast. I give thanks for that. I give thanks. Now, I'm not all for the Thanksgiving that what people know it as the Pilgrims and Indians. As we all know, I'm a realist. I love history too. So I'm never going to make people think that Thanksgiving is on this hooply-ha, happy Pilgrims meets the noble savages, the Indians, and they sat down at a table and had turkey and all the trimmings and all this stuff. No, it wasn't like that. The native indigenous people of this land, I don't like calling them Americans because they're not Americans, because it's not like an Indian said to the first white folks, I am American. They never said that. They never said that. So when people refer to the indigenous peoples on this land in the Caribbean as Indians or as native, or say specifically in this land, Native Americans, I'm like, really? Have you asked an indigenous person what they would like to be called? Like, you can't name them and say, well, they're Native Americans. No, they're not Americans. Indigenous people, ask them. Iroquois, Blackfoot, Apache, whatever. I don't even know if there was a national word that represented all of the indigenous people. Maybe they haven't even got to that point yet because they were interrupted. So I'm like, just respect and acknowledge the history of what the indigenous people went through. And a couple of points that I saw reading up on things that are associated as far as the people, the history of the people in this country. The U.S. government authorized over 1,500 wars, attacks, and raids on the indigenous people in this country. 5 to 15 million, and that's a rough number, so don't take it as gospel or what I'm saying. 5 to 15 million living in North America. And after the Indian Wars, fewer than 235,000 Indians remained. Excuse me, I was going to drink some water. In 1782, a group of militiamen from Pennsylvania killed 96 Christianized Delaware Indians. Christianized, not like they were following their own faith or religion or whatever you want to call it, or traditions. They were already Christianized. They were converted. But Captain David Williamson ordered the Indians to go to a cooper shop where they were beaten to death with wooden mallets and hatchets. They were Christianized. So even after being Christianized, because they were savage people, and the only way to civilize them was to bring them into the fold of their culture. And so they had to follow Jesus Christ and all the teachings, right? And they were still slaughtered. During the Muskogee Creek War of 1813 to 1814, Muskogee Creek women killed their children so they would not be butchered by the opposing force soldiers. Can you imagine that? That a woman would have to kill her child because she did not want them to go through the brutality that they knew the other side to be if they were to get hold of their children. They killed them themselves. Yo, that is, there's no words. As a parent, that you have to take the life of your own child just so they can escape the demonic hands of the people that were trying to come after them. Can you imagine that? Everybody knows the Trail of Tears. That was a law that relocated Native Americans to the West. Then President Andrew Jackson supported the removal of those Indians under the Indian Removal Act of 1830. Jackson stated, I quote, "They have neither the intelligence, the industry, the moral habits, nor the desire of improvement which are essential to any favorable change in their condition. Established in the midst of another and a superior race, they must necessarily yield to the force of circumstances and are before long disappear." And that's a rough quotation from what the previous president of this country, Andrew Jackson, said about the indigenous people of this land. Many battles ensued where American troops were the attackers. They raped women and killed children. The Battle of Wichita River, the Wounded Knee Massacre. It was very brutal in those days, very brutal. And a lot of us, because we are so wrapped up in the now, we do not know the details, the horrific, troubling, sadistic details of what the indigenous people had to go through in this land. Okay? Now, if you want to get an idea of this, please, I want you guys to check out A Short Account of the Destruction of the Indies by Bartholomew de las Casas. Small books, about 80, 90 pages, I think, something like that, roughly. It doesn't take that long. You could probably read it within an hour's time. And it basically was about a Spanish friar by Bartholomew de las Casas that at one point was complicit in the subjugation of the indigenous people of the Caribbean. But after a while, seeing all the brutality, it turned him to the point where he was like, oh my God, this is getting out of control. And he started to document what was happening to the indigenous people. And let me tell you something. It's like a straight horror movie, this book. It's a straight horror movie, what this guy recorded, what was happening to the indigenous people of the land. And I mean, man, trust me, go read that and you can get an idea of what the indigenous people have gone through and how we don't see indigenous people. And one other thing that kind of like brought to light, I forgot who mentioned this. I saw it online. He said, see someone that claims as being, and they're Native American, of course. They say they're Native American, and I'm like, and you see Native Americans now. What do you see? Mostly light skin, right? So you think that's how Native Americans are? But then actually Google Native American and put 19th century. It is a stark difference from what we know of the indigenous people from back then to what they look like now. They've been wiped out. Native Americans were dark red people, dark brown people with distinctive features that's unique to who they are as a people. And those features are still there today, but they are not the same people. Light skin. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Native Americans are not the same people, man. So, this is all under the cheery attitude and feeling and what's that word I'm looking for? Festive surroundings and cheer of Thanksgiving. Oh, Thanksgiving. Some people are tripping. Some right-wing people are tripping because they're saying that the name needs to get changed. Doesn't matter. What you have to do is acknowledge what happened to the people of the time, and do not allow people to continue to spread the false stories of what they want to, as in the history books with Thanksgiving, man. You got to tell the real deal, man. And imagine when you see the folks sitting at that round table, that traditional picture that you always see of pilgrims and Thanksgiving people. Now imagine you break bread. Now pilgrims are almost gonna die. They were damn near dead. And they were in winter, cold, starving, did not know how to deal with the land. They were almost dead. And then the Native Americans came, or the indigenous people, all right? Indigenous people came, brought them back to health, taught them how to hunt, taught them how to till the land, clothes, all these things. Now imagine the pilgrims, they even thanked the indigenous people for bringing them out of near death. And how did they repay them? Look around. Okay. All right, so we're gonna get out of here and getting into our first song of the first segment, and we're listening to Debra Debs. She's coming out of London, UK, and this album is on the older tip. It's called Life Cycles, and her song is Fizzy Lemonade. But I always like to support artists. Even a lot of times you hear a lot of good music and it disappears because they never really had platforms to be heard. You know what I mean? So it's always important of what we do as GCOM Radio to kind of continue spreading the word of good music and artists that you need to hear. And this is one of them. Her name is, as I said, Debra Debs. And check out the song Fizzy Lemonade. All right.
iHeartRadio.
Don't stop. You can be my lemonade, don't stop. 'Cause I wanna taste your sweet sometime. Open me like a book, a manual scribbled all over me. Legible, sensible. You ain't gotta read between me. I tell you what, let's take it from the top. Lay on that ride and you'll find that spot. No game playing, horse racing. Take me on a cruise in your limousine. I'll be your wine, you'll be my fizzy lemonade. Drink me so much I'll make you wanna stay. What you need I'll provide. I'll be your red, your white, and your rosé.
GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a lifer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
All right, so we are back, folks. And you just listened to Debra Debs with her album Life Cycles. So go check it out on iTunes and all streaming platforms and enjoy her sounds. So before we get into the second segment, and folks, just to let you know, we're only going to do 2 segments. Because I'm starting my holidays early. So before we get into the second segment, I'll check out the business of the week. this is one of my personal favorites. So listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Bringing you the business of the week and its innovative founders is what you've been waiting for.
Architecture is a wonderful field to study and excel in. It is architects that stir wonder, excitement, and admiration to millions of people to a city, simultaneously injecting millions of dollars in tourism to communities they visit. One particular architect is highly sought after for his ability to spring beauty from angles and edges and stone and metal into towering works of art. His name is David Ajayi from Ajayi Associates. David Ajayi, born in Tanzania from Ghanaian parents, one of his parents, a Ghanaian diplomat, allowed him to live in various countries in Africa, later to permanently settle in Britain. Shortly after graduating from London South Bank University, he opened his first firm with William Russell called Ajayi and Russell. Unfortunately, the firm closed, and yet Ajayi pressed on, opening his own studio soon after. Many years later, Ajayi has created many masterpieces such as the National Museum of African American History, homes for Alexander McQueen, Ewan McGregor, and artist Chris O'Feely. He designed a residential building on 130 William Street right here in New York, the Nobel Peace Center in Oslo, Norway, the interior to New York City's Spyscape Museum, and more. Lyfeblood.com would like to salute David Ajayi for his fantastic work and pushing the boundaries in the art of architecture. We're looking forward to seeing what wonders he can create in shining cities around the world. Go to ajayi.com for more info. All right, so we are back. As I said before, this is going to be the last segment and the last show of 2019. I just like to say happy holidays to you guys. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my 2019, man. I'm out of here because, as I said before at the beginning of the show, so much things going on, and it's hard to kind of do a show and then chill with family and hang out with them and prep for the holidays that's coming up. So this will be my last show of 2019, and the next time I'll come back, let's see here, I'm looking at the calendar. The next time I'll come back will be probably the 8th or 15th of January 2020. Yeah, man. So I pushed through. I did pretty good, I think. You know what I mean? I pushed through the whole year. I probably except one or two occasions that I didn't have a show. I think it was like 2 or 3. But anyway, I did mostly just do a show, man. I pushed through the whole year for it, talking to you guys, coming up with different topics, and connecting to you, connecting y'all to good music. And yeah, I think I owe it to myself to kind of relax from the show for the last month of the year and just kick it with family and all that, and just being back fresh, rejuvenated, ready to go for 2020. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to take off this couple of months. I'm going to start the gym. I started a new gym. It's a martial arts gym, actually. And I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it, to getting back in shape. And I'm really going to take it serious because I do want to get back in shape and knock off the weight that I wanted to knock off and be ready for spring. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm going to get into it. And plus, I have some other things that I do have to take care of. So yeah, man, this is going to be the last show that I'm going to be talking to you guys on for 2019. Let's get into the subject that we have going on. The subject is something that I was like, yo, what's the deal? There was a recent article that came out that the FDA is warning folks on CBD. Now, CBD is going on like gangbusters. Now, everybody's coming out with their medical marijuana dispensaries and recreational, and a lot of states are passing the selling of weed, and we're dealing with what do we do with the people that are locked up based off of weed, and we got to let them go. So all the conversations are being had, and then along with that, the CBD, you take the CBD oil, is great to fixing certain specific ailments, and this is kind of running neck and neck with states legalizing weed and all these dispensaries opening up. Now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a couple weeks ago, and not even a couple weeks ago, it was a couple days ago, the FDA puts out a press release saying, as they say, FDA warns 15 companies for illegally selling various products containing cannabidiol. All right, I always get that wrong. Cannabidiol, right? Still saying it wrong. Whatever. As agency details safety concerns, violations include marketing unapproved new human and animal drugs, selling CBD products as dietary supplements, and adding CBD to human animal foods. Now, all of this is crazy, all right? Because, and they always say, and let me say here, what's going on here? This is what they said on the FDA website when it comes to CBDs. Based on the lack of scientific information supporting the safety of CBD in food, the FDA is also indicating today that it cannot conclude that CBD is generally recognized as safe, GRAS, among qualified experts for its use in human or animal food. Okay, so all of a sudden we're talking about, as I said, all these weed dispensaries coming about, CBD oil being sold online. People are taking it, they're putting it, infusing it into their oils. All of this new movement is coming about from CBD and weed, and all of a sudden the FDA wants to put out a report saying that it's dangerous. Isn't that kind of late to the party? Like, really? FDA, everybody's already over the hill, around the corner, down the block, past the barn, on the highway, into the next state with weed dispensaries and CBD oil usage, and now you're going to come out with this. What is going on over at the FDA? Sometimes you can't listen to FDA, no matter if they're federally a federal agency for the approval of food and drugs in this country, because there's a lot of funny style things that's going on with these agencies, man. So to continue on to say, as we work, quote, and this is from the FDA Principal Deputy Commissioner Amy Abernethy, MD, PhD. She says, as we work quickly to further clarify our regulatory approach for products containing cannabis and cannabis-derived compounds like CBD, we'll continue to monitor the marketplace and take action as needed against companies that violate the laws in ways that raise a variety of public health concerns. In line with our mission to protect the public, foster innovation, and promote consumer confidence, this overarching approach regarding CBD is the same as the FDA would take for any other substance that we regulate. Hold the fuck on. Safety concerns. Anybody out there, do me a favor. Anybody that's listening to the show, if you're listening to it by yourself, that's fine. You're listening by yourself. If you're listening to it with somebody next to you, turn to each other. Or if you're by yourself, look in the mirror and ask yourself, when has CBD ever been a safety concern for people that take CBD? Ever? Look at each other. And then what's the response? Not ever in our motherfucking lives have CBD ever been a problem in this country, safety-wise. They acting like it's crack. They acting like it's methamphetamines, like it's heroin, like it's cocaine. Like, come on, man. Are you serious? And they're gonna treat it no different from any other drug. But yet, alcohol's being sold all over the country. People dying from cirrhosis of the liver, alcohol-related diseases. That's never checked on. Nobody ever checks for that. The FDA doesn't talk about that. But we could buy alcohol anywhere, and we can kill ourselves. Not just ourselves, but people that consume alcohol and kill other people on the road. But that's fine. We're not talking about that. What? Huh? Huh? That's what the FDA is doing right now. They're talking about CBD oil while the building is burning behind them and dealing with alcohol. Crazy. So they continue to say, aside from one prescription drug approved to treat 2 pediatric epilepsy disorders, these products have not been approved by the FDA, and we want to be clear that a number of questions remain regarding CBD safety, including reports of products containing contaminants such as pesticides, heavy metals, and there are real risks that need to be considered. Studies in animals have shown that CBD can interfere with the development and function of testes and sperm, decrease testosterone levels, and impair sexual behavior in males. Questions also remain about cumulative use of CBD and about CBD's impacts on vulnerable populations such as children and pregnant or breastfeeding women. So they're saying it's crazy that they're saying this. Let me see. As we work quickly, we can monitor. So it's funny how they can say this in one line, right? They could say this. Let me just highlight that, right? And then say this. Let's say this. Let's highlight that as well. Funny, right? So check this out. At the beginning of this FDA press release, they say, based on the lack of scientific information supporting the safety of CBD in food, the FDA is also indicating today that it cannot conclude that CBD is generally recognized as safe. Okay, let's continue on here. Okay. But yet, at the very end, they're saying studies in animals have shown that CBD can interfere with the development and function of testes and sperm, decrease testosterone levels, and impair sexual behavior in males. So you're saying there's lack of scientific information supporting the safety of CBD in food, yet at another part in this press release, you're saying there have been scientific studies to say that it can interfere with the development and function of testes. So which is it? Have you done scientific studies or haven't you? You can't say at the beginning that we haven't done scientific studies for CBD in food, so we don't recommend you using this, and we don't know if it's safe. And then at the very end, you say, well, studies have been done to saying that it decreases testosterone levels and impairs sexual behavior in males. Like, all right, so you're double talking. Have you done it or haven't you done it? So my thing is, there have been a number of people that have been talking about CBD and saying the benefits of CBD. Again, look, everybody knows the crack era. We know what happened during the crack era. It ravaged cities across America: LA, Miami, New York, Baltimore, DC, Texas. Ravaged cities in each of these cities and states or wherever you're at. People were running off with VCRs and TVs. There were crack houses and people shooting up and killing each other. And all of a sudden you had Nancy Reagan talking about say no to drugs, war on drugs, people getting locked up everywhere, which way. People walking around like zombies. You know what I mean? People got they cotton mouth and looking like, their face beat up and they bleeding from the arms and the sores as big as baseballs. Yes, look up freaking crack sores. I may be exaggerating, but I've seen some pretty disgusting picture of crack sores when people shooting up in the arm and all that. All right? People looking just like something out of The Walking Dead, especially with these methamphetamines. It was a health concern, but it's funny how they lock up people with crack, I gotta say. But yet this methamphetamine opioid issue is running across the country. All of a sudden we got to treat it like a mental health issue, and it needs to be appropriately dealt with, right? So that was from crack. Everybody knows that was a problem in our society. Has that happened with CBD usage? Do you see anything of close to that coming down with the use of CBD or smoking weed? No. All of a sudden we got a health concern. I think that there's some more sinister things that's going on. But they say the benefits of CBD is one, can relieve pain, reduce anxiety and depression, alleviate cancer-related symptoms, may reduce acne, may have neuroprotective properties that could possibly can have a possible positive effect on signaling systems in the brain. It treats neurological disorders such as epilepsy, which I've heard of, multiple sclerosis, and muscle spasticity. All right. I've seen a lot of cases where people have taken the oils from weed. You just can't. It's just not to be smoked. You can inhale it. It can be vaporized. It can be, or vaped if you want to say whatever. It can be turned to oil, and it's treated people with epilepsy. Amazing. And there's benefits to the heart health and helps with diabetes, antipsychotic effects, and helps substance abuse issues. But again, all these people, they're quote unquote, they're unofficial studies or people talking about the effects of CBD and weed when it comes to certain ailments in our society, and they talk about it on video. There are tons of video, tons of audio recordings, tons of podcasts everywhere on the positive effects of CBD oil or weed in gestation, or the administering, if I'm saying that right, administering of weed. And I say that in a professional way because I don't want to see like, you chilling with Snoop and you smoking up weed for your cataracts. Nah, administering of these specific medicinal drugs for your ailment, right? You don't hear about what's happening with how what will happen in the crack era. It's nothing close. Now, this is my personal feeling. This is my personal feeling. It's doing too well. It's doing too well. You're like, wait a second. We were going to talk about legalizing weed. Everybody started using it. All right, let's get to it. And you saying we're making billions of dollars. And all of a sudden, it's actually curing people. It's actually subsiding, and it's cheap. Not compared to some of these drugs that are in the drug market that's marked up 500%. People could buy it from their local dispensaries or for their homeboy on the block. Give me a 20 sack. 20 sack a week. How much you smoke it? Or the CBD oils. Rub it on the skin. Like tussin. Like Chris Rock would say, rub it on the skin like tussin. Tussin, use tussin for everything. Tussin for this. Tussin for broke bones. You rub it on the skin. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, now they saying all the people in the health community are like, He said, doctor, oh my God, it's curing the epilepsy that my child has. It's reducing my attacks of multiple sclerosis. Oh my God, this is great. It's actually taking away the depression from my son or daughter. Oh my God. And all of a sudden, it's less people going to the doctor. Less and less and less. And people, the insurance company's like, hey now. we don't need to be curing drugs. Wait, are you crazy? We need for you to be coming back. We're just gonna do. That's not the right drug. That's not. You don't use CBD oil or weed. No, that's wrong. There's something wrong with those things. Look at the effects. Look at the negative effects. You need to come back to Dr. Schwartz and get these drugs that we approved. All right, you need to be on it. Yes, don't worry. You're not gonna be paying for it, but it's $600. All right, it costs what? Wait, what you said? Oh, it doesn't cost $10 to make. It costs $10.25. Get that correct. So why you sell it for $500? Listen, man, we have bills. I'm talking about the insurance. Look, and the manufacturers of the drug. We have bills. That's why it's $500. It's $10.25 to make, $10.25. But we marking it up $500 because we have bills. We have administrative costs. You don't understand this because you're not in the business of the drug game. The medicine game. It's not the drug game, the medicine game. You don't understand. All right. So my thing is, it may be working too well. All right. And all of a sudden people are doing all this flower power of freedom living. We don't need that. People sharing the CBDs, and it's actually having a positive effect in reducing the attacks and reducing the issues that people are having with mental illness and depression and anxiety and relieving pain and all this. This is big business, baby. We don't need cures. We just need to deal with the symptoms and have you coming back for 30, 40, 50 years. All right? Pay for these drugs $500. We're going to mark this up 500%. We're going to make some money off of this. Because we can't make no money off of no kid. We got shareholders to talk to. All right? There's a round table of men and women of 20, 25 people. We got shareholders. It's not to you, the people. It's to them. So they can make money. We're in the business. It's funny how we throw all these things out. Life, the quality of life of human beings. So you can have a company make profit. making profit off of your life. And making sure when they run those numbers, the quarterly numbers, the annual numbers, that they're making their hundreds of millions of dollars in the quarter and their billions of dollars for the year. Who cares about human life? What are you? You're cattle. You're sheep. We just need to be making money off of you. You're the roadkill. As Vlad said on his show when he was talking with, I forgot that real estate guy he was talking to. I forgot this dude's name. You're roadkill. We don't need for you to get healthy. We need for you to stay sick so we can make some money off of your cattle ass. Anyway, so that's interesting. So what are you going to do, folks? What are you going to do about it? The FDA has said their piece, and I'm sure the government is going to come right behind them, or the other arms, and say, we agree with the FDA. We're going to have to pull all those CBDs off. And after we pull off those CBDs, we're going to have to pull back on all those. Well, we said it was legal. Yeah, it's really illegal. We didn't keep that illegal on a federal level and state level. Right? Or, if not taken off the market, because a lot of people are making money off of it already, as far as weed is concerned, they're gonna just have the few benefit from it. So instead of everybody having access, creating weed dispensaries, they'll just have a few, keep them in their pocket, right? Give it to their friends, their other rich friends. Don't worry about that, Bob. Let me open my own dispensary. And he's a millionaire already, a billionaire already. And he's going, no, don't worry, we'll take control of that. That's when the real problem's going to start. You think that you dealing with some pure weed or some good weed? Or they really going to be fucking with your weed once it goes to that few folks to benefit off of it. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, we're going to get into the next few songs. And what we have here is Archie. His album is called Righting Wrongs, with his song hashtag FOH. And to follow that up, Denike with Don't Walk Away, coming back with her song again. So Reg has a great album. You can check it out on any streaming services. And I say first and foremost, go to iTunes and do that digital download. So listen to Reg Archie with his song hashtag FOH. And following that up with Denike with Don't Walk Away. All right, we'll be right back.
Ooh, a GCOM exclusive.
Some days I wish that we left it high. I should've left when I knew that I couldn't decide. It gets tough when things ain't feeling the same. Though you're different, still the thought hasn't changed. But still I'm trying to live right in a world full of hope. I'm trying to avoid the wrong fork in the road. There's something I didn't decide. Better choose the right side. I'm holding on to my love, can't let it go. Don't get me wrong, if I'm in lust, give me love. It gets tough when things ain't feeling the same. Though you're different, still the thought hasn't changed. But still I'm trying to live right in a world full of hope. I'm trying to avoid the wrong fork in the road. There's something I didn't decide. Better choose the right side. I'm holding on to my love. Don't get me wrong.
trying to live right in a world full of hoes. I'm trying to avoid the road fork in the road. There's something I didn't decide. Better choose the right side.
On the #1 podcast platform in the world, GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio.
I'm so sick and tired of arguing. Every day all we ever do is fight. Should we even start again? I don't think we can ever get this right. Boy, don't walk away. Don't walk away from me. Don't walk away from me. They gon' have to call the police on me. We could go there. We could go there. But man, gon' put your hands on me. Then it's gonna be an emergency. 'Cause if you gonna go there, we could go there. We could go there. Don't you walk away, away from me. Don't you walk away, away from me. Boy, don't you walk away, away from me. Don't you walk away, don't walk away from me. Not that you was a rider. Just know that I'm a survivor. Nobody has to be in love. Can't be one of us. Right now it's sink or swim. Boy, let me drown in love. Boy, don't walk away. Don't walk away from me. Don't walk away from me. They gon' have to call the police on me. We could go there. We could go there. But man, gon' put your hands on me. Then it's gonna be an emergency. 'Cause if you gonna go there, we could go there. We could go there.
Listen up. Turn up.
You're listening to GCOM Radio.
Tired of you taking advantage. We never need to fall in love. I can't let you leave me lost in love. Boy, don't walk away. Don't walk away from me. Don't walk away from me. They gon' have to call the police on me. We could go there. We could go there. But man, gon' put your hands on me. Then it's gonna be an emergency. 'Cause if you gonna go there, we could go there. We could go there. Don't you walk away, away from me. Don't you walk away, away from me. Boy, don't you walk away, away from me. Don't you walk away, don't walk away from me.
Yes, that was Reg Archie with his album Righting Wrongs, and that song was hashtag FOH. And right behind him was Denike with Don't Walk Away. You know what I do? Great music, right? Of course, always. Yeah, so I'm going to sign off here. This is the last show of 2019, man. Last show, I had a great time. It was fantastic for all the topics that I talk about, and the music and contact and getting in touch with these artists and playing their music. I've always liked to support artists. You know how I do if you listen to the show. And yeah, man, it was fun. I'm having a really great time. So yeah, I'm just gonna take this time out just to hang out a little bit, do the holiday spirits and hang out with fam and and trying to get in touch with friends and doing some other things for the last couple of weeks of 2019. And I'll come back at y'all in 2020. I think it's going to be like either January 8th or January 15th. I'm not so sure. When I come close to one of those dates, I'll definitely shout you guys out on IG or one of my social media pages and let you know that the show's coming back. But yeah, man, I mean, I go hard all year. You know, I'll probably miss like 2 shows, probably 2 or 3. But, you know, other than that, I've been just rolling along. So, of course, you know, at the end of the year, you just want to just relax and not have to be stressed, and you have to do all these other things. So I do appreciate you guys listening to me. For those that listen to the show, those that download it, you hear it, those pieces, you know, it's been fantastic. And of course, also check out Lyfeblood.com. It's associated with that. Of course, Lyfeblood.com, as everybody knows, join that network, build your network, find your passions, whatever that you like to do. And if you want to hone it, if you want to find that financial base, that foundation, Lyfeblood.com is the place to go to. And, you know, as I stated as I said before, even with that Vlad TV joint, this is the time, man. This is the time, because in the next 5, 10, 15 years, the economy is going to be different. And I think one good thing that Lyfeblood can do is to soften the blow, cushion the blow of what's going to happen with this economic system that we're in. So how do we do that? I think it's a key thing to find the solutions within ourselves and within our neighbors, and to network and to build the community that we want, that we always talk about right here. This is not Facebook, as you know how I talk. I'm not going to be on some Facebook business. This is something that's going to be a symbol of pushing the culture forward, pushing society forward into the 21st century. And we're going to do it right here on that platform, Lyfeblood.com. So, as I said again, thanks for listening to the show. I'll see you guys in January 2020. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, all those, you know, all those things. So enjoy your time when you're with your family, and those New Year's resolutions, whatever it is, hold to them, stay tight. Regardless of what you go through, regardless of the missteps and the falls and the mistakes and the man, I should have done this, and the frustrations, don't worry, push through. You will make it through. When you make those New Year's resolutions, it's not for you to make and fall apart. Those New Year's resolutions for you to keep going. For you to keep going, regardless of what you're going through. That's what it's about. That's about it, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. We are out of here. I'll see you next year. Peace.
Y'all, check it.
You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com, for the global community.
We worldwide, baby.
See you in the next go-round. From right here to your town, we out.